Welcome back to Try and Wins Dragon Quest XI. The gates are frozen shut, and the castle is completely silent. What in the world has happened to Sniflheim? That's rough.
What's going on? The whole city's been turned to ice.
It's just like what happened to the gates. This doesn't seem natural at all.
This may be the Crystal Kingdom, but it shouldn't be frozen solid, cold winter or no. We'd better take a look around.
There's something I want to talk to you about.
Everything's been turned to ice. The castle, the houses, even the people. There goes our plan to ask them about the orb. Still, we're not just going to give up and go home. Let's see if we can find someone who isn't frozen stiff.
I wasn't going to mention it, but...
Even the poor animals are frozen solid. I do hope they're going to be alright.
maybe...
Did Sniflheim get hit by an ice storm? Is that why everything's frozen? I don't know much about cold climates, but this seems too extreme to just be down to bad weather. There must be some other explanation.
Listen up, laddie.
The plan was to see if King Gustav would lend us his orb, but that doesn't look like it's going to be possible now. We should try and find out what happened here, laddie. We can worry about the orb later.
Perhaps...
Look at these people. They were just going about their business when they got frozen in place. It's like time just stood still. Listen, I'm no meteorologist, but there's no way a cold snap could have caused this. There's something fishy going on, honey. Mark my words. Well, I'm a meteorologist, so...
How's it going?
It's cold, sure, but there's no way the whole city should be frozen solid like this. Let's check this place out and find out what's going on here. The horse is encased in ice. It looks like it was following after its owner when it was frozen. The man is encased in ice. He looks like he was walking his horse when he was frozen. It looks like he was shoveling snow when he was frozen. She was recoiling from something in fear when she was frozen. Looking up in shock. Asleep at his post when he was frozen. Readying himself for a fight when he was frozen. A shocked expression on his face. Oh, there's somebody. Just wanted to go back here and start from this entrance again. I like that you can interact with everything. She was feeding the animals and she was frozen. Having a snowball fight when he was frozen. Having a snowball fight when she was frozen. Strolling around town when he was frozen. Heading into the armorer's shop when she was frozen. Are you the town greeter? Frozen solid with his mouth wide open. He looks as if he's still singing. She was strolling around town when she was frozen. Just about to open his stall when he was frozen. Ogling the bunny girl when he was frozen. It looks like they were deep in conversation when they were frozen. Looks like she was talking to the owner of the stall when she was frozen. Looks like he was talking to a customer when he was frozen. Running from something when he was frozen. The bonfire is blazing brightly. Tran feels his toes begin to thaw.
Oh, I'm sorry. You gave me a fright. I hadn't expected to see travelers in town.
Finally, someone who hasn't been turned into a block of ice. Can you tell us what happened here?
Well, it all began 3 months ago. It was a bright, sunny day, just like any other, when suddenly a strange shadow filled the sky. It was a witch.
A witch? My goodness! That sounds like something from a fairy tale.
Just so. She chanted an ancient incantation, and just like that, the town was engulfed in a ferocious snowstorm. The wind took my breath clean away, and before I knew it, I had fainted. And when I awoke, all was frozen. I was the only one spared.
Are you the witch?
She must be a pretty powerful witch to freeze this whole city with a single spell. I wish I could help, but all this ice is more than my magic can melt.
By the way, Missy, that symbol in your shawl, is that not...
Oh, forgive me. I haven't introduced myself yet, have I? I am Frysabel, Queen of Sniflheim.
You don't think the crown gave it away, Rab?
You're the queen. So, does that mean the old king is...
I'm afraid so. My father passed away last year. Oh, I've only been in charge these few months, and just look at my kingdom. Whatever am I going to do?
It looks like Sniflheim's in a bit of a sticky situation. I suppose now isn't a good time to ask about the orb.
An orb? What kind of orb?
Why, the big blue ball that's been handed down in your family for generations, lassie. And truth be told, we need to borrow it.
Oh, of course. You would be welcome to borrow it, but I'm afraid it is locked up tight inside the castle, which is locked up tight inside the ice.
Well, that's just perfect. So if we don't find a way to melt that ice, we'll never get our hands on the orb. Maybe if we got rid of that wicked witch, it might break her spell.
I thought just the same thing. Why, only a few days ago, a band of soldiers from a faraway land came here to investigate what was happening. I sent them out to try and find the witch and fight her, but I haven't seen them since.
Well, we can't very well leave them out in the cold. Let's go and give those soldiers a hand and bring spring back to Sniflheim, shall we?
They're probably Heliodoran soldiers.
My poor people.
What kind of hero are you, playing with the poor girl's feelings like that? I'll ask you again, and this time, you'll answer properly. Well, we can't very well leave them out in the cold. Let's go give those soldiers a hand and bring spring back to Sniflheim, shall we?
Nah, we're good.
My poor people.
What kind of hero are you, playing with the poor girl's feelings like that? I'll ask you again, and this time, you'll answer properly. Well, we can't very well leave them out in the cold. Let's go give those soldiers a hand and bring spring back to Sniflheim, shall we?
Oh, alright.
Oh, thank you, thank you. The Wicked Witch dwells in the Hekswood, a haunted forest far to the north of the Snaerfelt steppe. Be very, very wary, for the witch does not live in the woods alone. She keeps a fierce, magical beast to guard against intruders.
Aye, We'll be sure to keep an eye out. Thanks for the warning, lassie. Right, come on, boys and girls. Let's head over to the Hekswood.
The Wicked Witch is hiding in the Hekswood, a haunted forest to the north of the Snaerfelt steppe. But be very, very wary, for the witch does not live in the woods alone. She keeps a fierce magical beast to guard against intruders. The search for the orbs continues, and our heroes arrive in the Crystal Kingdom of Sniflheim, where the Blue Orb is said to be. Unfortunately, they find everything in the city frozen solid from the castle gates to the citizens themselves. No sign of the orb anywhere. The only person who hasn't been turned to ice is Queen Frysabel herself, and she proceeds to tell the party the tale of how it was all the work of a wicked witch. It seems that this sultry sorceress and a certain monster underling of hers haunt a forest known as the Hekswood out on the Snaerfelt, and that a force from a foreign land have also headed there to try and stop them.
There's something I want to talk to you about.
Getting rid of the witch might break her spell and melt the ice. It's our best chance of saving the people of Sniflheim. The queen said she was hiding in the Hekswood to the north of Snaerfelt. Let's head on over, shall we?
I wasn't going to mention it, but...
So it wasn't just a code snap after all. A wicked witch froze Sniflheim with her magic. But if we can defeat her, it might very well break the spell. Come along, Tran. We have a witch to defeat and a kingdom to save.
You wanted to speak to me?
Queen Frysabel said a band of soldiers from a faraway land came to her aid. Who exactly are they, do you think? She wasn't very forthcoming with the details. Still, they must be on our side if they've agreed to fight the Wicked Witch. We should go and help them. So old King Gustav's no more. It's a real shame. He was a wise, unflappable ruler who loved his people well, and was well loved in turn. Now a Wicked Witch has brought his kingdom to its knees. We have to give her what for and save this place, for Gus's sake. Oh my goodness. Did you hear what the Queen said? A witch, Tran. An actual real-life witch. Not that they only exist in fairy stories. I wonder what she looks like. Classically wicked, I bet. Big black hat on her head and a boil on the end of her nose.
How's it going?
The witch Queen Frysabel told us about must be crazy powerful to be able to freeze this whole city. And she's not even the only one we need to worry about. It sounds like she's got some kind of guard dog too. Something tells me we're in for a real fight here.
Hello?
If we can get rid of the wicked witch who froze Sniflheim solid, her spell might be broken. The queen said she was hiding out in Hekswood to the north of Snaerfelt. Well, what are we waiting for? Northward ho!
Did you want to talk to me?
So it wasn't just a code snap after all. A wicked witch froze Sniflheim with her magic. But if we can defeat her, it might very well break the spell. Come along, Tran. We have a witch to defeat and a kingdom to save.
Hey!
You want to watch yourself in this cold, man. I've heard all kinds of tales of travelers heading out into the Snaerfelt unprepared and ending up as icicles. No matter how tired you get, don't even think about catching some Z's. Otherwise, your next bed will be a box. The higher we climb, the colder it becomes. It doesn't look like there are many places to shelter around here either. If we need to rest, we should head back to the city. The Snaerfelt's a bitter place even by Sniflheimian standards. Even the local hunters don't dare stay out here too long. As soon as they've checked their traps, they hightail it back to the city before they freeze to death.
Darling!
It's so cold around here, you start shivering as soon as you stand still. I know what we can do to heat things up. Fancy joining me in a little fire breathing, honey? It's sure to warm your cockles. Here we are in the Hekswood. Now we just have to find that witch and knock some sense into her, and Sniflheim will be saved. So stop wasting time staring into space, will you? The sooner we get rid of the witch, the sooner we can put our frozen feet up in front of a nice warm fire. The party of foreign soldiers that the queen told us about will probably be here already. Wouldn't it be nice if we could join forces with them and defeat the witch together?
You wanted to speak to me?
The Wicked Witch is hiding somewhere in these woods. That's probably why it feels like we're being watched. She also has some kind of magical beast protecting her, according to Queen Frysabel. Stay on your guard.
Listen up, laddie.
Michty me, this forest just goes on and on. You can easily lose your way among all these identical trees. The only thing we've got to guide us is the river. You'd be wise not to stray too far from it.
Honey, please.
Oh, whoa. I slipped on the ice and did myself a mischief. It turns out the river is frozen over. That's how cold it is out here. Watch your step out there, honey. If you try to cross the water too fast, you'll slide off the rink and into the drink.
You good?
You've got to watch out for blizzards around these parts. When those storms pick up, it's a total whiteout. It's easy to lose your way, or bump into something you'd rather not. What in the world is a civilian doing here? This forest is extremely dangerous. I'd advise you to leave immediately. What am I doing here? I'm a soldier for Heliodor. We were dispatched to investigate why all contact with Sniflheim had been lost. It seems the city was frozen by an evil witch, and she and her monstrous protector are at large somewhere in this forest, which is why you shouldn't be here. looking to see if there are any other NPCs to talk to before I, wait, it's not even the right way. I just think I had to cross the river. You crying, dude? So cold. My squad were caught in a snowstorm, and before I knew it, I was all on my own. I hope they find me before that wicked witch does. We have traveled all the way from Hekswood to come to Sniflheim's aid. The witch who froze the city is somewhere in this forest. If we can cut her down, it may break her spell. Unfortunately, our squad has become separated in this blasted blizzard, and the commander is nowhere to be found. He's a knight beyond compare, but like all men of Hekswood, he feels the cold. I hope the commander is unhurt. This is no place for the likes of me. Why must I be dragged to these bleak backwaters? I am the scion of one of the most noble houses of Hekswood. I knew it was a mistake joining the army. If only I'd ignored everyone's advice and followed in the footsteps of my rake of a father, I could be sitting on a beach in Port of Valor right now, watching the girls go by. Even though I've already looted this place, again, I am looking for any extra NPCs to talk to. Like that one right there. I would have missed them if I didn't check it out. I know you, don't I? I'm sure I've seen your face before. Yes, something about you is very familiar indeed, but I can't quite place it. Well, never mind. I have more important matters to be attending to at present, like finding the commander post-haste. Come on, you guys should really be more on your guard. You have one primary task, which is finding the Darkspawn, and then you're assisting to find the witch. So at this point, anything dangerous should immediately be jumping to mind, and I'd say if you think he's really the Darkspawn, he qualifies as dangerous. Whatever. I guess your incompetence knows no bounds. Come on, let's save Hendrik. The party becomes separated in a snowstorm. I assume I should go forward, but just because I can, I'll go backwards instead. At least until it gives me a message box saying I can't go this way.
You are. Honestly, what's wrong with you? Walking off on your own in the middle of a blizzard like that. You had us all worried sick. Turns out that when the wind picks up around here, the air fills with snow and you can't see a thing in front of you. But if we want to find this witch, we're going to have to keep pressing on. Just try to be careful, will you?
Tran is reunited with his companions. Okay, that was actually kind of cool that they allowed me to go back. I assume I'm supposed to go forward, and maybe we'll save Hendrik on our lonesome.
Oh.
You get some awful snowstorms raging in this forest. The last time we tried to explore its depths, the snow was so thick we couldn't see a thing. But if the witch is the one behind the blizzard, she must be inside there somewhere. We shall simply have to keep pressing on. This forest blighted by some awful blizzards, or so I've been told. The air fills with snow and you can't see a thing in front of you. Still, we want to track down that witch. We're going to have to keep plowing on whatever the weather. Just try not to get us all killed, alright? As with everything else, let's give it a second try to see if there's a different dialogue. No, we could just hold hands, or they could just walk straight. It is a straight path, after all. Since I see the skip button, I assume it's the same. Tran is reunited with his companions, again.
You will not keep me from the witch beast! Yield! The Darkspawn here? How could I be so foolish?
I will take you down. Piece of cake.
You have served your mistress well, but your day is done.
You kill thief!
Now it is your turn, Darkspawn. You will not escape me this time!
Now's not the time for this.
What is the meaning of this?
What a pleasure to finally meet you, Sir Hendrik.
Huh? Damn you, witch! Is this your doing?
Nothing personal, my pretty, but I promised the one who released me that I'd freeze you in your tracks. What a lovely little trinket. It's just like his. We shall make such a captivating couple. Matching necklaces and all.
What?
More questions. You so-called heroes are nothing but talk. It's time to put you two on ice forever.
You seem to have forgotten something, lady. I'm not alone.
Not if I have anything to do with it! Are you all right?
Well now, Sir Henrik, you'll be in charge of this party of foreign soldiers we heard about. The ones Queen Frysabel sent. Leaving so soon? Sure you don't want to round us up and throw us in jail?
Ever so helpful, Rab.
Oh, I will. All in good time.
Oh, come on.
He's freezing cold. That spell must have really taken its toll.
We passed a hut on the way here. Let's carry him there.
The Snaerfelt. The search for the orbs continues, and our heroes arrive in the Crystal Kingdom of Sniflheim, where the Blue Orb is said to be. Unfortunately, they find everything in the city frozen solid, from the castle gates to the citizens themselves, and no sign of an orb anywhere. Queen Frysabel explains that this is all the work of a wicked witch who haunts the Hekswood to the east, and the party depart to seek out and stop her. After becoming separated from his friends, Tran happens across Hendrik, who has been leading a force sent to aid Sniflheim in its hour of need. He is crossing swords with Jormund, a massive monster at the witch's command. Between the two of them, they are able to beat the beast, but as soon as they do, they are attacked by the witch herself. Just as the sultry sorceress is about to freeze the two warriors solid, Tran's friends arrive and save them both, with Veronica able to wound the witch enough to force her to retreat. Her parting words seem to set something off in Hendrik, who suddenly departs, while Tran collapses from the biting cold, both magical and meteorological, and is carried to a nearby hut to recover.
Ah, so you are finally awake. Are you feeling better, friend?
No.
Is that so? Then rest by the fire a while. The warmth will do you good. When your friends brought you here, you were frozen to the core. But forgive me, I have not introduced myself. Ah, so you are finally awake. Are you feeling better, friend?
Yes, I am, thank you.
Good, good. You have your companions to thank for that. Such caring comrades are a rare gift. But forgive me, I have not introduced myself. I am Snorri, scholar of the arcane arts. I came here to investigate the origins of the wicked witch who froze Sniflheim solid. It was luck, and luck alone, that caused me to be away from the city when she first appeared, or I too would have been turned into an icy statue. Your friends tell me the Queen has asked you to eliminate the sorceress. If it will help you in your quest, I will be happy to share what I have learned. The witch's name is Crystalinda. Long ago, in the Age of Heroes, A mighty mage imprisoned her within the pages of an enchanted grimoire.
The book the queen was carrying?
The book was hidden away safely in the royal library, an ancient archive built by the founders of Sniflheim to house the combined knowledge of all humankind. Having learned this, I tried to go and see the book for myself. Alas, the library was swarming with monsters, and I was forced to retreat.
Oh, hello. Up and about, are you? Thank goodness for that.
Indeed. You are well on the way to recovery thanks to your young friend here. It is plain to see that Veronica cares for you very deeply.
Put a sock in it, Snorri.
There is no need to be embarrassed, my dear. Anyway, your timing is perfect. I had just finished telling your friend all I had learned about the witch.
I'll get straight to the point then. We're taking Snorri here back to the library so he can look for clues on how to beat her.
It is high on a plateau to the east of here, but we must make our way around to the south before we can reach it. Shall we?
After becoming separated from his friends, Tran happens across Hendrik, and between them, they are able to beat the beast dormant, but as soon as they do, they are attacked by the witch herself. Tran's friends arrive in the nick of time, and Veronica injures the sultry sorceress, forcing her to flee. Meanwhile, Hendrik makes no move to apprehend the detested Darkspawn, and disappears without further comment. The freezing cold and the witch's magic take their toll, and Tran passes out. The party carry him to a nearby hut where they meet a scholar named Snorri. He tells them that to the east of the Snaerfelt lies the Royal Library, which may hold the key to defeating Crystallinda and unfreezing Sniflheim.
Yes, my friend?
The great mage who bested the witch in the Age of Heroes left a record of his deeds in the Royal Library. Reading this account may allow us to find a way to steal her away again. The Royal Library is to the east of the Snaerfelt, but it is high on a plateau. We must circle around to the south to make our ascent.
Listen up, laddie.
I've heard Snorri's name before, you know. Aye, he's quite the celebrity among Sniflheimian scholars. If he can find what he's looking for in the Royal Library, we might just be able to figure a way to save this kingdom.
What's up?
So the rescue party the Queen told us about were Hendrik and his goons. I've got to admit, I was kinda on edge when I saw him. That guy never normally leaves without a fight. This time, though, it seems he's headed back to Hekswood already. Guess we scared him off, huh?
Honey, please.
Look, Tran, I know that witch is easy on the eye, but don't let her foxiness fool you. Real beauty isn't just skin deep, it comes from the heart. And you and I both know that slinky siren's ticker is as cold as ice. While you were resting in Snorri's cabin, Veronica spent every waking hour by your side, holding your hand and mopping your brow. She must have been ever so worried about you. I've never seen her fuss over someone like that before. Oh, that's nice. All that time you were asleep, your whole body was burning up, and you were moaning and groaning like nobody's business. If everyone hadn't taken such good care of you and nursed you back to health, you might not be standing here today, so make sure you give them all a proper thank you. Oh, no, I don't mean me. Honestly, I only did what I had to. Just make sure I don't have to do it again, alright? Thank you, Veronica. The pendant the witch took from Sir Hendrik was given to him by my father. It's a token of fealty to Heliodor. Why would she even want such a thing? She doesn't have any connection with our kingdom. Not that I know of, anyway. Are you guys dense? You must be. I was in my cabin in the Snaerfelt when the witch froze the city. I had no idea that Her Majesty escaped the spell. Ah, how wonderful it is to see her safe and well. But now is not the time for celebrations. The people of Sniflheim are counting on us. We must defeat the wicked witch and free them from the curse. If we don't save Sniflheim, Queen Frysabel will be left all on her lonesome, the poor wee thing. We've got to get rid of that rotten witch as quick as we can and put this kingdom back on its feet.
Hey!
Man, I thought this place was freezing before, but this is something else. There's no way this can be natural. This is all that witch is doing. We've got to take her down and bring spring back to Sniflheim. Talk about cold, honey. I can't feel my toes or my nose or even my clothes. We have to save these poor people before it's too late. This blizzard is making the ice even thicker. If it keeps up much longer, even defeating the witch might not be enough to save the Sniflheimers. We must go to the Royal Library right away. It's the only way we'll find out how to bring her reign of terror to an end. What in blue blazes is going on? I didn't think it was possible, but it's even colder here now than it was before. I bet that rotten witch is behind this. Seriously, why has she got such a grudge against this place? Did a Sniflheimer knock over a cauldron or something?
I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but...
You're concerned for the Sniflheimers, aren't you, Tran? Well, we're not going to find out how to save them by loitering around here. We need to get to the Royal Library. I've never known such code. This is more than a Gallipolitan can take. I so wish to see the Crystal Kingdom, but now I'm thinking I ought to cut my trip short. Wow, yeah, they even changed. That's kind of cool that they changed. Isn't this snowstorm awful, Tran? When I woke up this morning, all I could see was white. I wonder why it has worsened so suddenly. What? You say that you found the witch when she escaped? Oh no, this must be her doing. That wicked woman has her way. My kingdom will never see summer again, but how will we ever defeat her? Why does this country have to be so cold? As if my luck wasn't bad enough, I was following Sir Hendrik and the others back to the city, when we were caught in a blizzard, you see. The others must have thought me lost for good because they've sailed away and left me. Honestly, it never rains but it snows. Wow, they just abandoned you to die?
Some soldiers from Heliodor came through here the other day and sailed off, quick as you light. The fella in charge looked familiar, a big unit with a face like thunder and a natty little beard. Reckon he's some kind of bigwig in the Heliodoran army.
Now this was not different earlier, but it is now, so if we enter the Arborian Highlands and talk to people...
Mordegon's the one pulling the strings in Heliodor, and it's all to get rid of you, laddie. You're the only one who can defeat him. Only you can wield the power that sleeps in Yggdrasil's heart, a blade that can cut through the darkness and bring Mordegon's shadowy schemes to an end.
How wonderful!
Traveling with friends is so much fun. I've done my fair share of traveling, but mainly just with me, myself, and I. It's so much nicer to have somebody to chat to.
Yeah!
That key we swiped from Dora and Gray sure is going to open a lot of doors for us. Literally. You've seen them around, right? Red paint, silver symbol, locked up so tight that even a master thief like me can't crack them open? Well, now's our chance to take a peek inside and loot the loot.
Did you want to talk to me?
I don't know about you, but I'd say our orb hunt is going swimmingly. It won't be long till Veronica and I have fulfilled our sacred duty to accompany the luminary to the world tree.
You want to talk? That's not like you.
If we take all 6 orbs to the altar in the first forest, we should be able to summon a path up to Yggdrasil. Let's find them and head on over there as soon as we can. There's no time to lose.
I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but...
Everyone knows about the Darkspawn in Heliodor and Gallipolis, but the rumor doesn't seem to have spread much further than that. Still, that doesn't mean we can let our guard down. Heliodor's on the warpath, and there's a bounty on your head. You could be attacked at any time, anywhere. Is there a rare bear around here or something? Yep.
This'll make your blood run cold!
We win again.
The Royal Library.
Let me explain.
My investigations lead me to believe that the great mage wrote a record of his battle with Crystal Linda, a record that sleeps upon these very shelves. It is most likely in the mage's study at the top of the central tower. Alas, it may not be as accessible as one might hope. The library has many magical switches by which one might move the walls and bridges. Only by pressing these switches in the right combination may we find what we seek.
Interesting.
Could this be the legendary Royal Library of Sniflheim? I've heard tales about the place, but I was never sure how many of them were true. What have you been doing for like the past 14 years or however long it's been? They say it was built in the Age of Heroes to house the combined knowledge of all humankind. Some call it the pinnacle of wisdom. Chances are there's a few volumes in here that'll come in handy on our little adventure. If you spot anything that looks useful, be sure to read it from cover to cover.
Hey, honey.
When I saw this beautiful building rising above the snowfield, I thought it'd be full of people, but it looks like the monsters have taken over. And judging from the mess, I'd say they've been here quite a while. The dirty birdies have really made themselves at home. Okay, and what have the world's armies been doing then? Man, I've never seen so many books in my life. It makes my head hurt just looking at them. Guess I'm not cut out to be a scholar, huh? If you can read through any of these dusty old tomes without falling asleep, more power to you.
You wanted to speak to me?
This library looks absolutely ancient, but why would anyone build such a beautiful building in such an inhospitable place?
Hey, listen!
Here we are, the Royal Library. If Snorri's right, there's a book somewhere on these shelves that will tell us all about the time the witch was sealed away. If we can find it, we might be able to work out how to do the same thing ourselves. Keep your eyes peeled, Tran.
I wasn't going to mention it, but...
Gosh, there are bookshelves covering every wall in this building. It's rather hard to tell one from another. Be sure to keep a close eye on where you are and which way you're heading, Tran, or we might end up going around in circles.
Victory!
Coo-wee! You're the first Gooman to have visited this place in a long slime. Welcome to the Royal Library, home of the greatest collection of books in all Erdrea. Since you've come all this way, I'll tell you something really oozeful. This building's like a puzzle box. When you press the glowing switches, the walls and staircases spin around and you can goo to different places. But first you've got to press this big green button next to me. That will activate the switches so you can actually ooze them. Once you've pressed this button, keep your eyes peeled for the other glowing green switches. There's one on this level that will open a way upstairs. The other switches blink into light. It looks like Tran can use them now. The Wizard's Canticle, Book 1, on a faded threadbare cover, but it's magically sealed and he can't read it. Is that like class advancement for Veronica? But I'm not sure I actually looked behind this thing.
Not bad at all.
Here's where the book is during the shadow fight. The Sealing of the Serpent. Tran takes it from the shelf and has a closer look. Long, long ago, in the frozen land of the north, there lived a great black serpent that terrorized the people of Sniflheim. One day, a brave young man came forth and bested the dragon in battle. Having done so, he sealed it away in the ice of the frozen lake of the Snaerfelt, such that it could never break free. But that great hero has long since passed away. Should the beast ever escape its icy prison, Sniflheim will surely fall under its cruel gaze once more. Out of my way, dude. Trying to see if there's a green orb in that direction. Alright, okay, there's a green orb right there, so I'll go this way first then. Not that it mattered. It took me longer to find the green, longer to see the green orb than it would have if I just ran down the path. Not that I would have known that before I tried. Storm from the north. Tran takes it from the shelf and has a closer look. Immediately identifiable by their fierce and blood-curdling war cry, the vicious Vikings are known to many as the terror of the northern seas. They are known for their love of pillage and plunder, and the stories tell of their sailing up and down Erdrea's northern coastlines, bringing chaos and ruin to every town and village in their way. But such bloodthirsty raiders comprise only a small part of the Viking population. The majority of this hardy people are honest men and women, traders of considerable competence. Should you ever happen to encounter a member of this intriguing tribe, be sure to greet them with a warm smile and a full goblet. Do so, and you'll have a stalwart ally for life. Yeah, I never really did understand people's romantic ideas about Vikings and pirates and the like. The Wizard's Canticle Book 2. Before that, let's check out this book. The Worst Curse. My story starts innocently enough. I was walking through the forest one day when I came across a ledger man. It hadn't seen me, so, overcome with curiosity, I decided to sneak up and take a peek inside his robes. What? It noticed immediately and flew into a rage. How dare you embarrass me like that, it bellowed. You'll soon see how you like it, and with that it stormed off. Ever since that day, my life has been one embarrassment after another. There's not a doubt in my mind that this is the work of the Ledger Man and a terrible curse placed upon me. When I start my prayers at chapel, I suddenly need the laboratory. If I try to talk to a lady, I become so distracted that I forget what to say, and in combat, I am struck dumb with thoughts of previous failures. Mark my words, dear reader, this is the most embarrassing curse in all Erdrea. I call it Shypox. Alas, even my powers of imagination have been rendered cringe-inducingly weak by it. And now, even as I write this, I realize my breeches have been unfastened this whole time. Truly, this curse is a force to be reckoned with. And that would be the Draconian quest mode I could do. You guys having story time here? Let me put you to bed. I was trying to attack the big giant lizard thing. Whatever. Recipe book. Favorite fashions of the Masters of Magic. Witches' hats, witches' robes, wizards' robes. The Wizard's Canticle, Book 3. Applied Ring Theory, Aging Yggdrasil. Tran takes it from the shelf. Cut down a tree, and upon the exposed stump, you will see a pattern of rings, the number of which will be equal to the number of years the tree has lived. What of Yggdrasil? Were we to fell that greatest and most ancient of trees, would we see such rings, and how many might there be? Just how many years has the World Tree been up there, watching over us all? I suspect that the existence of our arborescent guardian predates that of even Erdrea itself, that its history stretches back further than mere human minds are capable of comprehending. I was looking at the monster manual, and I see that I want to defeat more Professoruses so I can get the Thunder Staff, or whatever it is. An anthology of elemental earrings. Asbestos earrings, anti-freeze earrings, and rubber earrings. Aerofol, concrete, and mirror earrings. Okay, I'm on the upper right portion, and I have not yet checked that section out.
Don't say I didn't warn you!
We did it, darlings!
Hold on. Jeez, this stupid quest taking forever. Okay. Curios of the Lost Kingdom. Many hundreds of years ago, before the kingdom that stood on the site of now what was reduced to ruins, its wizards created some of the most advanced magical devices our world has ever seen. The nation's chancellor, in his loyal devotion to king and country, invested greatly in the development and distribution of vast numbers of these artifacts, many of which have survived to this day. Among them, perhaps the most commonly encountered nowadays are the magic doors that protect vaults and strong rooms the world over, and which can only be opened with the fabled magic key. Imagine the bankers' and quartermasters' dismay when Now What fell, and the Chancellor disappeared forever, along with the key they so desperately needed. Mimic. You know, I feel like it's been a while since I've seen one of these.
Take this and this. Wonderful.
Oh wait, am I supposed to fall off these things? Huh, I thought I was supposed to jump off them. I thought that was the whole point of these little holes. That's why I kept looking at the map and then trying to plan things out. Am I really not supposed to drop off these things? Huh, okay. Guess I was mistaken. He's not quite ready.
Aha! This should be very useful indeed. It is the great mage's account of how he imprisoned the witch in the grimoire. Let's see now. The magic of the sorceress was passing strong. Even with all my energies, I could neither conquer nor constrain her. And so I did conspire with a great enchanted beast, that by its incorporation of a piece of the witch's magic, I might by my small strength subdue her. Thereupon was the witch imprisoned in a book, and laid to rest in the royal library of Sniflheim. As for the beast, it haunteth the nearby Hekswood to this day. I see. So, even the greatest mage of the Age of Heroes needed the help of a magical creature to seal the witch away.
A great enchanted beast? Well, you certainly met one of those in a Hekswood. That thing that was supposed to be the witch's pet.
Oh? Tell me, what did this creature look like? A rounded white body with a golden mane. 2 pointed tusks jutting from an enormous jaw. How can you have been so foolish? The monster you defeated was the very same one that kept a part of the witch's powers sealed away.
It's not his fault. Queen Frysabel told us it was on the witch's side. She said it guarded her against intruders.
Is this true? But why would Her Majesty say such a thing?
Because it wasn't Her Majesty.
Hold on. I'm sure I've seen that symbol somewhere before. Wasn't it on the front of the book the Queen was reading when we first met her?
This? Why, this is the Sorcerer's Seal. It is a ward placed on all the forbidden books of the Great Library.
Which means that book the Queen was reading was forbidden. Wait, what if it was the book the witch was sealed away in? What if... We need to go back to Sniflheim and talk to the Queen. I've got a feeling there's some funny business afoot.
Of the Forbidden Deed. Most forbidden terrible power, time-shattered world shall fall to ruin. Okay, that's great. Fantastic reading. Of spirits in the plane beyond. This tome concerneth realm all but visible, however within dwelleth spirits or sprites faint yet mayhap even time itself. Of the First Age. Long, long ago, age of gathered together, lo the forgotten, a people lost to time. Alright, I know there's segments here I haven't actually explored, but my kid's nap is done and it's time for me to save and exit. So I have to worry about this later. Oh. Guess I never got this chest, or what? And if it turns out that I have to redo the whole puzzle, well then I guess I'll have to redo the whole puzzle. Actually, before I go, why don't we talk to the slime? It should be over here. There it is. This library was built a long, long time ago, before the Age of Heroes. That was when the glorious Master of Monsters fought against the evil Luminary. Over the years, more and more books have been added, and now there's a gajillion of them. It's a goldmine of useful information. let's see what we got for info. They head there right away and soon find a tome that lays a troubling truth bare. The beast Tran beat in the Hekswood wasn't working for the witch. It was a creature of good who was instrumental in sealing the sorcerer's powers away. Furthermore, the book Frysabel carried bore a distinctive seal, marking it out as a forbidden grimoire. The party make haste to Sniflheim to confront the queen.
Could it be...
The queen was definitely reading one of those forbidden books Snorri told us about. What if it was the very same one that the witch was imprisoned in? I think we need to have a little talk with Her Majesty. We'd better head back to Sniflheim right away.
I wasn't going to mention it, but...
It seems that book Snorri found at the library has given my sister some sort of brainwave. She's awfully clever, you know. If Veronica says she knows what to do, you had better believe her.
Maybe.
It seems that the beast you and Hendrik slew in the Hekswood was actually the one that was sealing away the witch's true power. But then why would Queen Frysabel tell us it was the witch's pet? It makes no sense unless...
Is they right?
If what the book Snorri found in the library said is true, then we've been looking at this whole situation topsy-turvy.
Anyway.
I'm still not entirely sure what's going on around here, but if anyone can tell us, it's the queen. What do you say we go back to Sniflheim and have a heart-to-heart with the wee lassie?
Yes, my friend?
What if the book you saw Queen Frysabel reading in Sniflheim was the very grimoire in which the witch was imprisoned? I was overjoyed when I heard Her Majesty was safe and well, but now I feared that the opposite might be true. That's actually why I took you to see her, so that you could give me some sort of clue.
Just the person I wanted to talk to.
Ronnie's got a bit of a bee in her bonnet. You should do what she tells you, honey. You don't want to rub that pocket rocket up the wrong way. I always thought it was weird that Frysabel was the only Sniflheimer who escaped the witch's spell. Now, I don't know about you, but I think I'm starting to understand why that might be. Come on, let's head back to town. This is post-commentary. I return later to the library to collect what I've missed. During editing, I saw that I missed this book, The Great Guardian of the Hekswood. Ancient legends tell of a mighty and mysterious beast that lives deep within the heart of the Hekswood, a frozen forest on the Snaerfelt steppe. Many generations ago, the people of Sniflheim worshipped this creature as their guardian spirit, and would offer up their thanks for the bounteous blessings they believed it bestowed upon them. You have to redo the entire puzzle for the library, but it's not really much of a puzzle. There aren't any wrong choices, you just have to keep going to the next switch. So, in this hall is not only a chest, but another book. The Stalwart Stone. There once was a world in which there was a kingdom, in which there was a town that had been brought to the brink of destruction by monster attacks more times than could be counted. Life was so hard for the poor villagers, and the fear and stress so great, they pled with the wisest men among them, a hunched gray old man. The old man thought, and he thought, and he thought some more. He could not save the village by the strength of his own arm. He did not know how to fight, and was far too old to learn. So he set his mind to seeking out another solution. Lost in thought, he paced hither and yon through the village, until he tripped upon a small stone and fell flat on his backside. And that is when an idea struck him. This tiny stone was so sturdy and strong that it brought a man hundreds of times his size to his knees. Imagine what a piece of rock hundreds of times bigger again might do. And so the old man got to his feet, and until dust and mud still covered his hand and face, he swore then and there to make a mighty stone warrior powerful enough to protect the town. On the way out on the southwestern side, level 2, there is a book called Sibyls, Sorceresses, and Sundry Seers, a compendium. Chapter 6, The Witch Who Sought Eternal Beauty. Long, long ago, in a cold and desolate land far to the north, there was born a girl more beautiful than any other in all Erdrea. But though she was fair, her heart was small and ugly, and she detested the very idea that another might ever be prettier than she. Her boundless self-regard meant that she could love only those who fawned over her. The girl soon realized that age would rob her of the one thing she held dear, and fearing this more than anything else in the world, she turned to the dark, forbidden magic of witchcraft. Through the use of warped and wicked spells, she turned her blood to freezing water, colder even than ice, and though the cost was high, she gained what she sought, eternal beauty. But her soft pink skin turned a chilling shade of blue, and her breath was cursed, freezing solid in an instant anything it touched. They say that of the 99 men who followed her to the ends of Erdrea to sing songs of her beauty from morning till night, not a single one escaped being turned to ice by her kiss. But nobody knows for sure. For of those 99 men, not a single one ever returned from the frozen forest of the Hekswood. Since I wasn't doing this during a live recording, the pacing of my reading won't match up with the impresses for the next dialogue page. There's a few chests that I missed that I'll go and collect on camera here. The super cool kit behind Snorri's cabin. Way back in the Eerie Eyrie, if you keep hugging the cliffside, there's a thunder ball. And finally, there's actually an interesting item called the Rod of Rapidity, which will, during battle, increase the agility of the user. You can't target another person with it, but I might manage to get some mileage out of it. We'll see. Okay, that's it for this episode. This is going to be a pretty long episode, about an hour 10 minutes. Thank you very much for watching Tran Wins Dragon Quest XI. I'll see you next time.